Sony, 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 Sony.
You blew it.
Ooh, the casual.
So while being congested as hell and trying to kill some time, I decided to pop into Best Buy and I was just looking around for a bit and I come across the fabled PlayStation Classic and it is now marked off 40%. Now, I'm pretty sure this has already been mentioned across the internet as we speak, but I found it really, really, really funny because there's so many reasons why the PlayStation Classic should have been a knockoff hit or a knockoff hit. I'm thinking about it being a knockoff of the NES and SNES Classic, but regardless, it should have been a hit, but it wasn't. It missed. Don't worry, I'm not going to hit or miss you. But yes, the PlayStation Classic is marked down all over the place. Best Buy, Walmart, Amazon, all the big boys are like, bruh, I want this trash gone. You know, the sad part is, as I record this video, it hasn't even been on the store shelves for like a month, and it's down by 40%. Like, that's bonkers. Now, my initial thinking, like if I put my business cap on, I could see them trying to do this play, overcharging, but discounting heavily. Because considering the fact that it's just an emulator running ROMs, I mean, that's all it is. It's not magic or anything. Even my dumbass knows this. Considering that fact, and you discount it to like, what, 50 or 60? With the NES around 60 and the NES also being able to run the very same, if not similar PlayStation games, meaning that it has very similar horsepower under the hood, it could be a smart-ish move. Like, I know it's a trend and it's popular to crap on Sony because, let's be honest, this console that they made, this little mini retro nostalgic cash grab, it's hot fire. Well, the hardware isn't the worst. It's just the emulation is piss poor. The setup is piss poor. The software is where it's hurting at the most. But I can kind of see them doing that. Like, the NES Classic is $60, so you're just charging around the same amount or maybe a little less than that. I can see them still making a profit off of that, and the strategy was to overcharge but put on sale to give the idea of, hey, this is a big, sale going on, so you can grab it for the cheap. And I'm pretty sure if they have even one brainlet between any of the execs at Sony or even on the team that made this console, that people will likely mod them. So, they have like these placeholder. I mean, they probably, who knows? They may not even be thinking about that at all. Like, just to be honest, but if I took this route and made this piss poor setup, this would be my alternative idea. Like, I can still make a profit off of the hardware while people mod it and do whatever with the software. That's why I didn't put as much effort and time into the software. I'm just, like I said, I'm just thinking like an evil villain. So take from that what you will. But there were so many mistakes that were made with this thing. Think about it. Like, no power supply. Like, I don't care how small the device is or how much you don't give a crap about it. Power supply. If I have an electronic, it needs power. I don't need to go buy something to supply my own power. It should come with it by default. Unless it's something that uses phantom power, which I guess in a sense that could be okay, but we're not always going to have like USB ports or something to have access to. I mean, they are technically pretty universal, but nothing beats plugging it into a wall as of right now. So that was a mistake in my opinion. The half-ass game selection, I mean, don't get me started on that. The piss poor emulation. I mean, I guess PAL is your pal, right? Instead of getting NTSC versions of ROMs, we're just gonna go PAL, like slowly laggy, cause fuck it, right? And the games, man. I mean, I said don't get me started, but bruh, it's so many games. No Chrono Cross, no Resident Evil 2. Not saying that it's the best game, but I mean, come on, man. It's synonymous with the original PlayStation. No Klonoa, dude? Jesus, like, what the fuck, Sony? No Legend of the Dragoon? Please, people have been begging for Legend of the Dragoon 2 for eons. You're telling me that, like, nah, no Dragoon here. It's such a good game. Are you kidding me? No Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo 2, it should have been on there, even though I'm not really a big racer fan. I remember this being a bundle title with I think it was with the remade PlayStation 1 with the little flip, like it's tinier, more compact, it had smoother edges and all that. I remember it coming with that, and it was really good. I think it was really good. And again, I'm not even the biggest racer fan, so not seeing that come on the PlayStation Classic, that felt like a travesty. Final Fantasy VIII should have been a thing too. It was the very, and I don't know, I may be biased on this, but Final Fantasy VIII was so good to me. It was military focused. It had a convoluted story in my opinion, but it went over like the cost of war, had some sexy summons in there. The main characters were pretty decent. I wasn't a big fan of Squall. He was just kind of like that generic protagonist, and his love interest was very generic. I'm Team Squall, Team Quistis.
No, unacceptable.
Actually, no, F that. I'm Team Quistis, because Quistis is bae.
There goes my baby. Oh, girl, look at you. You don't know how good it feels to call you my girl.
Oh man, it's some Shiva, boy. Whew. Anyways, but that game should have definitely been on there. It's a game that fans, like Final Fantasy fans, they just love, and they love it for good reason. I need that. Anyways, Grandia, it's debatable because I don't want to put too many RPGs on here, but Grandia, just the standing and the fact that it's making a comeback, which is awesome. I feel like that with the combat system, how it was set up, definitely should have been on there too. And bruh, Tomb Raider is undisputable. There should be no reason why Tomb Raider is not on there. Like Tomb Raider for old school PlayStation was synonymous with PlayStation. Like they went hand in hand. If you had a PlayStation, you had Tomb Raider. Like my uncle had it. I had it. Like it's just why is that not there? And you know the even bigger travesty. And this is again a little bit more biased, but I don't think anybody can argue with this. Castle Symphony of the motherfucking Night, dude. That is not on there? I mean, bruh, Ducky is still having a good time with the game.
Come on, yeah. Come on, yeah. Dracula on bass, ladies and gentlemen.
Anyways, with that aside, it was overpriced, but that's my thinking. Again, business cap. Overcharge for it, put it on sale, make people feel like they're getting a deal even though they aren't. It's actually at the cost it should have been from the get-go. I feel like that's probably how Sony was playing it, by overcharging so much for mediocrity. How I would have did it though, just on software alone, because I don't like to feel like I'm giving people like garbage. I can't deal with that feeling. It sucks. It's like I'm just gonna phone this in. And phoning it in, I can barely say it. Like, that's how much I don't like doing it. Phoning it in, it doesn't sit well with me. It's like, well, here you go. I'll just shit this out for you. Enjoy. No, man, I can't. I gotta give them better emulation, cheaper hardware, may put it on sale, who knows? But it's hard to argue with if they did the pricing setup as I would say, but they probably didn't. So if they didn't do it how I envisioned doing the pricing, I would just make it cheaper. Definitely go with the NTSC versions, not the crappy PAL versions, because the crappy PAL versions, if any of you aren't aware of PAL, it was just that it's the European version that's a lot slower, a lot more mediocre. It's not worth playing. It's a headache. It was just something that they had to do, or at least chose to do at the time, back in the days when they had games over in Europe, and it sucks. It's a hand-me-down. It's a painful, nauseating hand-me-down. And PlayStation was like, bring it. Anyways, yeah, better UI setup, no question. UI is so bland and boring, it's pathetic. I mean, PlayStation, the whole startup genuinely had like a very minimalistic setup, but why not lean into that and enhance it as well? Make a nice UI, give some UI functionality to it as well. To really capture the old PlayStation days and redone in like a smooth, classic theme. Also, I would give you the ability to pick your favorite games as like UI overlay skins, just like I want Nintendo to do, but Nintendo keeps playing around.
Not my problem.
But it's just a bit of a nice extra is what I would have. At any rate, it is what it is, Sony. You blew it.
You blew it.
I guess we just move on. I guess we'll look forward to the PlayStation 2 Classic. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. Sorry about disappearing for a little bit. Been a bit under the weather, to say the least. But I'm back. My Elgato should be working now. After that stream, it was a whole thing trying to get that fixed and worked out. Feel free to hit that subscribe button. Feel free to hit that bell. Do have a Patreon. Tiers start at like $1 a month and go up, and contribution definitely helps out the channel, makes it even better. And if you don't want to do that, not a big deal at all. You feel free to get yourself something nice in the clothing store, Threadiverse.com. Some awesome independent artists are in that store. Feel free to check them out. And leave a comment below. Tell me what you would add to it, what you would do different to the PlayStation Classic, and I'll see you in the next video. Later days.
5, 6, 7.